Bam, we're live. Ooh, sound like there's mucus in there. First time I've talked this morning. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Coming in hot this morning. Coming in hot. So many new listeners to the show. Numbers are exploding. You have to know something if you're a new listener. I don't do this show for the reasons you think I do this show. And the reason I can do so many shows and be a fucking just a 3-man, 4-man crew, the reason why I can do all this is because I have endless energy, because I fucking keep it real. That's the only way I can do all this. There's no other fucking way. You don't want to hear about the fact that I like definitions of words and I bring it up in the middle of doing interviews with other people. This show is not for you. There's no script to this show. There's just notes, and there's me just trying to go as deep as I fucking can with people. What does that mean, Sevan? That means I want to know where you came from before you were born and where you're going to go when you die. And every single one of my questions, whether it's about cock and balls, Buddhism, or what is the molecular makeup of a compound, it all goes pointing one way. And I just told you where. You may not see it, but if you listen to the show long enough, you know that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm fishing for souls. Trying to mingle is the deepest possible way with my guests. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. I know sometimes it can be vicious. And I apologize. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to alienate anyone. But not at the expense, not even close to the top of my priority, just to go deeper and save the people who want to be saved like myself, who want to have a rich, joyful life. What's up, Sousa?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, shit, I can't hear you. What's going on? Oh.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah. The other day, I want to say something about Freya Moosberger one more time. She was on Cat Cheers podcast, the Clydesdale podcast, and she said something about the reason if she were ever on my show, she would say something. And I said something misogynist, if I massaged her, or said something inappropriate, she would stand up for herself or stand up for other people I talked about. And I want you to know, Freya, that if you came on my show and you babbled any of that racist shit where you hate black people, or you babbled any of that shit where you hate Jews, I'd stand up for them too. Even though I'm not Jewish or black, I'd stand up for them too. I swear, man, if you come on my show and start babbling that stuff. You see what I did there, Freya? You said that if I said something misogynistic, and you never gave an example, and the implication is that, misogynistic, strongly prejudiced against women. Why can't I be strongly prejudiced for women? What's that word? That's what I am. I'm strongly prejudiced for women. The reason why you have it confused is because guess what you think about women? Guess what you think about women? And I know you're a young lady, and I know you're confused, and it's okay. But what you do there is when you say something like that, you leave the implication through your ambiguity that there might be something misogynistic about me. Just like through my ambiguity, I made the implication that you hate black people and you hate Jews. It's fucking not cool. Don't fucking do it. Grow the fuck up. And I like you too. I think you're cool. And it doesn't hurt my feelings that you don't want to come on here. I don't know if I'd want to come on here either. Whew, shower was intense. Because like the monologue builds up in the shower, and I'm like, am I going to be able to get all this out?
Mm-hmm.
Remember this?
I love your monologues.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Always exciting.
Where is Rebecca? Did I send her a Fuselier?
Yeah.
Fuselier. Fuselier.
Yeah, you sent it.
Okay, cool.
Let me.
I wonder if she knows we're doing a show. Sometimes people get that shit all messed up. Maybe she heard my rant and she's like, "Fuck that! I ain't going on there."
She's like right about to sign in. It was like,
typical woke subjective comments with no context or understanding of who or what they're speaking about. I know. And like 20 people DM me and were like, "Holy shit! Like this chick's clearly never seen the show.
Never seen the show.
And she's just going off of like talking points." Oh, there
Boom,
she is.
There she is. Welcome.
Hey.
What up, girl?
How
Hey,
are you
Rebecca,
guys?
what's up? Good.
Not much.
I saw someone sent me an Instagram this morning, Rebecca, and it made me think of you. I was like, oh, I bet you Rebecca wish she would have made this. Can you play that, Mr. Souza?
Yeah, which one are we looking at?
The one where the person does all of the
yeah. Give me a second. I gotta pull it up from my phone. Give me 1 second.
I sat on my couch last night for an hour and scrolled through your Instagram. Damn, you're creative.
I try to I don't follow many meme accounts or anything because I'm scared of I don't want to steal anyone's content. I try to make it all original, and they're just magical thoughts that come up in my brain, so I try to put it all into a reels.
You've kind of trained yourself to think like that now? Like when you're just cruising, it's like your art?
Yeah, I mean, it's all fun for me, but I try to make it all original, all real, and just the everyday thoughts everybody has that no one actually wants to say.
And it's fun for you, but you take it serious. Like I heard you talking about like how I'm not gonna you're memorizing the songs and the lyrics. You want it to look good. You don't want it to be ass.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, I feel like that's with kind of everything I do. I never want to put like crappy content out there. I want it to be quality, and yeah, I take even making the videos. If I'm gonna do it, I want it to look good. So.
Well, I keep always trying to use this. Okay, let's watch this. Have you seen this yet?
Mm-mm.
So this is in light of the fact that all these people are popping and like all the excuses people give. So someone sent me this morning. I don't know who this girl is, but I just like and you know how, do you ever play video games?
No, I'm not a big video game person.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
I bet I know where this is going though.
But you know how like the characters drop in and then they just kind of like do that.
Yeah.
They bounce. Okay. Watch this thing is crazy. So this is with so many CrossFitters popping. It's only a matter of time before a video game emerges. So pick your character now.
Oh Lord.
Here we go. Here we go. The tainted meat. Oh my God.
Bag of pills.
Inappropriate. How is she? Okay, that's good, Susan. How is she dropping in like that? You think she's just jumping up in the air and landing, or? And
that girl was throwing fire at people. Yeah. That was good.
Has a teen? Good. Do they test you as a teen?
No.
At
least I didn't. I mean, I wasn't near the podium, but I don't think they test the teenagers.
You're in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
And your mom and dad are still married?
They recently actually got separated. What kind of question is that? We're already jumping into it.
Well, the reason why I asked, because I saw you in Best Buy with your dad, and then I went through your whole Instagram account, so I feel like I know you, and I saw your parents.
Oh my gosh, you found the old vlogs.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Hey, I saw that video you made. I saw the bullying video you made at when you were 13 also. Have you seen that one? Do you remember making that? That one's hard to find. That one you got to scroll. Like this way on YouTube.
Not 13. What was I doing? Oh Lord.
But
I know I made some pretty strange content back then.
Yeah, you're 13 years old. You just talk about bullying. You talk about how and it's your advice to people who are bullied is brilliant. Basically, I forget, someone said something about you and bullied you, and your best friend was there, and she punched the guy in the face. And then you say at the end, if you are bullied, just tell your best friend so they can punch him in the face, or you can call me, and you gave out your Instagram handle. It's on YouTube. But you say only if you're 14 or younger. I thought that was smart. You don't remember that?
Oh, wow. I don't know any of that.
Yeah. It's great.
I'll have to look that up. If you could send me the link to one of my old videos. I mean, I don't doubt that I did something like that. I was probably doing something weird.
What's crazy is it's not even on your channel. I mean, I had to like type in your name into YouTube. That's like 25 minutes of assault bike riding and just scrolling to the left, searching for videos of you.
Awesome. Oh, she froze.
I know. I saw.
Damn. I know. I saw her internet connection. It's a little rough.
Is that why she wears two different? You can see how good or bad her internet connection is.
No, but usually when they come on and it's a little fuzzy and it starts chopping like almost immediately, that's usually the tell sign that it might have some trouble.
Oh, did I know you were going to be on the show today?
Nope, neither did I.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you. It's always nice seeing your face.
Oh, there she is. Okay, you're back.
Is that me? That's losing connection. Okay, I'm moving.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm moving into the office. Maybe that'd be better.
Isn't it? How old are you, Rebecca?
All right. I'm 22.
22. I always when I watch. Do you watch any sports?
Yeah. Actually, I'm into the weirdest sports too. Coach and I watch some of the weirdest sports.
Tell me.
Well, football season is always a blast. I watch football with my dad, and we're originally from Louisiana, so I'm big Saints fans. And my parents went to LSU, so that we watch a lot of football. This season, I recently got into Mavs, so maybe I'll start a basketball career, even though I'm super short.
How tall are you?
And then most recently, we've been watching. How tall am I?
Yeah.
I'm 5'2".
All right, I'm taller than you, barely.
And then the most recent sport Coach and I have got into is disc golf. So I'm gonna go take him into disc golf. Has anybody played disc golf?
I played. There's right across the street from my house. There's a huge field, and the neighbors have put a bunch of those big steel baskets in there, and I bought them, and I went and played for like 10 minutes, and then it was like I don't know.
Yeah, well, I've never played, but I'm definitely gonna trash talk some people, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna beat them because that's just how we roll.
Half the game. Yeah.
When I watch sports, when I watch sports, I'm always like looking at I watch the UFC a lot, and I'm looking at the guy putting the Vaseline on the guy's face, and I'm like, that guy's a person, and he has a mom who probably has cancer and a sister who's pregnant, and then that guy over there, and I start spinning these narratives that they're absolutely false, but I start just thinking about all these people come to do this event, but they have these really complex lives that they have to put aside to get this shit done, and it always trips me out.
I mean, it's always better when there's a good storyline with, at the same time, you got to respect some of those professional athletes with that kind of thing. And that's what's been a big motivating factor.
Yeah. They may have COVID.
Am I cutting in and out?
Yeah, it's fucking horrible, but you're so cool. It's okay. And you have so much energy. It's fine.
Killer story.
Yeah.
Killer story.
It's okay. I'm going to keep it clean. I need to slow down. I came in really hot this morning.
No. Hey, Sevan, we watch your podcast all the time, and it's the realest podcast out there. You're the only one that I watch.
Okay, fuck it. How many athletes at the games do you think are competing with the venereal disease? No, I'm joking. I don't really care. I'm but thank you.
Yeah. Anytime you get weirded out by a question, just pretend you're frozen again, and then we'll just move on.
Rebecca,
but in regards to sports, I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything else besides gymnastics and CrossFit. So I love how people think I'm so interesting when I don't think I'm that interesting at all.
I'll tell you why you're interesting. Then I'll tell you why you're so fucking cool. You're too busy making yourself a better person to know why you're interesting, and that's when we were doing the show, a show on the games. I can't remember, and Taylor Self was on, and he threw a rock at you. We're these cool guys, and you're just a TikTok girl, and we're just poo-pooing you. And then you made a TikTok. Do you have it, Matt? You made a TikTok in response to it, which was just fucking hilarious.
I'm still high on emotions after semis from that.
She just makes ridiculous reels. That's Taylor doing top end sports commentary that you can't get anywhere else. And instead of, did he send you a link to come on the show?
Yes.
Who sent you the link?
Okay, so and it was like 10:30 at night our time, and I had just gotten back to my house, and he goes, "Here's a link. Hop on and talk trash with us." And I'll go, "Okay." Okay. I go, "Okay, what time?" He goes, "Now." I was like, "This doesn't seem legit."
Yes, random guys from Instagram, please turn your camera on and sign in. Anyway, so many people when that happens, don't lean into it, and you leaned into it. The thing that a lot of people do is they'll get offended, or they'll push away, or they'll talk shit back, and instead you leaned into it and you embraced it. And that takes some fucking incredible character and confidence, and sort of a deeper understanding of how humanity and how we work as human beings. It's like, it's like the boys and girls that chase each other around in kindergarten on the ground, in the playground, trying to hit each other. They know that they like each other, but people from the outside don't know it. So here we are taunting you, but really it's because we like you, or else we wouldn't even be fucking talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the craziest thing is in the past, I don't think I would have done that. I would have gotten like more offended and probably just gotten a little scared and down myself a little bit. But I'm just so confident in what I do, and I just love what I do. And if I kind of say, if you don't like what I do, then hit the unfollow button. It don't matter to me.
Then I'll come on your show and talk shit to you. What happened? Was there anything in specific that, like, a moment where you had to talk with yourself and like, okay, I'm ditching this story that I tell myself about not being confident is going to go away. I'm throwing this in the trash.
No, I just came out of a crappy gymnastics career, and CrossFit slowly built me back up to being confident and being proud to be a little competitor. And I've always been extremely competitive, but I think my gymnastics career in the past totally put me down on I'll never be successful, and I've definitely had to work on my mental game just as much as any type of gaining physical strength. So it's been a climb all the way back up to here. But I think sports is just, I talk sports with everyone. If you want to like relate to me and for how I relate to people, it's just talking through athletics. I feel like that's how my brain works best, and that's how I encourage people to be who they are and everything, and own who they are. It's just I translate it through sports, but then I try to put it in something like reels, like very generalized, so people kind of get the right message. So I hope I do that well for people.
Your reels make you crazy approachable, because they're funny. In every single one, you're kind of putting yourself out there. Like whatever you're making fun of, you're also always making fun of yourself. Like you're always a little bit out of your comfort zone. You're like, okay, this is a little weird.
Yeah, and when everybody can relate to it, those are the best ones. The one I posted last night, it actually might be my favorite one of all time so far. It's like,
is that like the earthquake one? You're running from the crowd. Yeah,
like
it's funny.
Your first day in CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make the ugliest faces too. It's because it makes
so
it better.
Good. Hey, Scott.
Thank you guys.
Going back to that, the gymnastics thing, you were on the Clydesdale podcast. I watched that yesterday, and Scott Schweitzer was interviewing you, and he said he found on a blog somewhere that story about your gymnastics. And so as I dug through and I thought that was very interesting. And basically your goal, he talks about this and you talk about it, your goal is to let the world know that, hey man, hard work, I mean, maybe you stole this from Matt. Hard work basically pays off, and that if you work hard, you should believe in yourself that the outcome is going to be positive. And you want to share that with people. You want to be the living role model of that, the living example. Right. What could have happened in gymnastics? You started gymnastics at 3. And another fascinating thing, in your entire Instagram account, I could only find one video of you doing gymnastics, which screams volume that you're like, fuck you to those 10 years, right? Could you play that video, Souza? What? So,
man, you guys are just already asking me to get all fired up. Like, right, we're 20 minutes in, and I'm just gonna start going off the wagon with gymnastics. Yeah, that's the easiest way to get me all.
Pour yourself a drink. Yeah. Look how good you are here. How old are you here?
Maybe 11.
Oh my gosh.
How the hell how are you not confident if you can do all that?
Yeah, it's incredible.
The sport is so political.
What does that
If
mean?
you don't if you don't got the look, and if you don't got the right connections, and if you there's just it's very picky choosy. And we actually moved from Louisiana up to Texas to have more gymnastics and sports opportunities for our family. And just as I got further into the sport, like, I started losing confidence because I had coaches that just constantly beat me down and talked me down. And it just got to the point where it took a toll on my body. I mean, you hear that if you've ever been near the sport of gymnastics, it's like horror stories with 9-year-olds getting back surgeries and all this ridiculous. It's so ridiculous and so not needed. And it started taking a toll on my body. I started not being able to. I know this is so not in my personality, like having high anxiety, not being able to walk in the gym without like shaking. And it was just to that point where I was like, and what I'm most proud of is it goes back to like my big picture today. Like, everybody's here for a reason. And I knew at that point gymnastics was not my purpose. I didn't want to do it in college, and I knew there was something bigger waiting out there. And I ended that chapter and eventually found where I'm supposed to be, which is definitely here.
What would your coaches say?
Well, I've been in front of, I'll tell you this story. This is one of the most like painful stories to relive. Is, the head of the USA Gymnastics, which now they're not, is like Marta Caroli and Bella Caroli. Did you ever hear of all the shit that went down
With the
Marty
girls
cussing.
getting fondled?
Marty cussing.
With all the girls,
Yes.
all the inappropriate.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I've
that
trained,
shit's crazy.
Yeah, so I've trained at that training camp. I didn't go through any of that. Like, I've much like huge respect for all those athletes that went through all that. But even like being put right dead straight in front of Marta Caroli, and she just straight up tells you don't have the look and this isn't for you. It's just like your dreams just.
What do you mean, like the
dead.
look? Like your hair's the wrong color, you're too short, your nose is too big. Well, your nose is probably too small.
You're not pretty. You're not cute.
Really?
You don't have the right body type.
Wow.
You have a birthmark in the wrong spot.
Oh, would
those stories too.
Would they be that clear? Would they be that clear about it?
I mean, they tell you straight to your face.
But would they actually point out the things that weren't good about, like, hey, you don't look good because your shoulders are too. Yeah.
And then I had a lot of teammates that went through like body image issues of like being too big for a gymnast. Gymnasts are supposed to be small. And
are you too big for a gymnast? Like, would you be too big? 5'2" is 5'2" too big?
No.
Okay.
I didn't deal with any of that. I had lots of teammates that was actually, yeah, I'm definitely gymnast size.
Let me play devil's advocate here for a second. Let's say you're 10 years in. Oh, yeah, she looks nice. Let's say you're 10 years in and they know what should they say to you if they know?
If they know you got like the look,
or if you did, let's say you didn't. I get. So I just want to be clear. The problem is that they're judging people on their looks instead of their talent. Is that what you're saying?
That's most of it. And
like you pulled up in a blue Mazda Miata instead of a red, and you're out.
I would say that's like half of it. Okay. The other half is I hate the old school coaching style. I hate it.
And tell me about that.
I did not want to be. I'm a full-time coach and personal trainer here. I never wanted to be a coach after all that. I used to hate my coaches. I used to fear my coaches. You can ask my coach, Matt, right here. When I first started CrossFit, I was always like scared, and I was like, I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. But just because I always felt like you're supposed to fear your coaches. And for someone, I've explained it in the past, like for someone like me, I'm already intrinsically motivated. I don't need someone to be cussing at my face. I don't need someone to be beating me down to push me harder. I'm already doing that in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I need that good feedback, actual good cues that make me think about what I'm supposed to be doing, not just being like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Right. And there are some athletes that work the other way of just like
Right.
maybe that getting them fired up and getting them a little bit just fired up helps push them a little bit harder. But it was just like, oh, you're or the injuries too. You're hurting, just go sit down. Like don't ask me what's hurting. It's just a very negative atmosphere that it took a while to come out of that. After it took many years for me to like break that in my brain, and now look at us now, we're just making ridiculous reels about coaching.
When your parents move so that you can stay in a athletic program, so the whole family moves so you, Rebecca, can further, do you feel that pressure? You
I
kind of
put some of it on my sister too. She was a gymnast too.
Yeah. Do you
But
guys feel that pressure?
yes, I did at I think we moved up here when I was 9.
Wow.
That sport makes you grow up so fast. Or in sports
Y-
just in general, you just get more discipline.
Your parents think they're helping you, and they are helping you, but there's also this pressure that probably a 9-year-old shouldn't feel, that the whole family moves so that you can do something.
Oh, to this day, I mean, there were other things. There's definitely like more opportunities up here than in Louisiana, but I remember feeling a little bit of that pressure. But I to this day, I'll tell them like, thank you. You're crazy, but thank you.
They were all in on you guys, obviously, and they
Yeah.
loved you, wanted to support you and give you the best platform
Absolutely.
and atmosphere possible.
Yep.
Is that are all those there's 4 of you, right?
I have 3 siblings. Yep.
So yeah, are you all related? Are you guys all from the same sperm and egg donors? Yeah, what a crew, man. You guys all look so different to me.
Really?
Yeah, what a crew. Never heard that? People are always like, "Oh, you guys look exactly alike."
I feel it goes both ways. They're like, some people are like, "Oh, I could totally tell you guys are sisters," and then another
What are
person's like,
you?
"No."
What is your makeup? Do you have Asian in you? What are you?
Yeah. My dad is half Japanese. His mom is full Japanese, so we're a quarter.
And then what's his other half?
Just full American.
And then how about your mom?
We don't know as much on my mom's side. There's definitely some Irish in there, and then just there's nothing big, like really notable on that side.
Were your parents in the military?
Mm-mm.
No. What were they do? How did they end up in Louisiana?
My whole family's in Louisiana, and then they met when at LSU.
Oh, okay. And like when you say your whole family, aunts, uncles, the whole
Everyone's in Louisiana.
whole
We
shebang.
we're the ones that voyaged to Texas.
Was there anything good about gymnastics? Like you started when you were 3. Do you remember anything in the early years about it being fun, or did it get just super competitive right away?
I've always been super, super competitive. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. If I do something, I want to be the best at it. So I say the only good thing that came from gymnastics is I'm super disciplined. I'm super, super. I'm always on my routine. I'm to the point where I'm crazy. If I fall off my routine, I'll go insane and not like it. But those are the aspects that I'll take from that sport. But other than that, nah.
Franco wants to ask you, thanks for sharing your story. My daughter is 3 and starting in gymnastics. What advice would you give her?
People always ask if I had kids, would I ever put them in gymnastics? And I go, yeah, it's a great sport. You get super strong. You learn that discipline, and you learn body control and body awareness that translates nicely into all these other sports. If you plan to be competitive in it, just keep constantly assessing yourself, asking yourself why you're doing it. Because I got to a point where when I asked myself why I did it, I couldn't answer it. So I said I shouldn't be here. And then I moved.
I'm thinking about Forrest Gump, about how he just ran and he didn't know why. And it's kind of, oh, you're welcome, Jess. Thanks for making it. That thing was,
it was awesome.
That thing's crazy. That's like one of the first things I saw this morning. Someone, I think Will had thrown it in our text thread. Tell me why you have to know why you have to know your why. Why do you have to know that?
It's a whole driving factor, I think, of everything that you do.
So So before we know our why, when we're that age, we're doing it to, I guess, please our parents.
I mean, I would say your parents are your parents for a reason. They've lived longer and they're guiding you down the right track. But at some point, and I think the more, like I had mentioned, like even at the beginning of this podcast, that my parents are like very, very recently separated, and you start learning that everybody's just human at that point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
but they're trying to guide you down the right path. I thank my parents all the time for all the sacrifice that they've given all four of us through all of our sports and all of our education. But at the same time, they've also been very free reign of like, if you want to go do something, go do it. And I'm very thankful for that. But in the end, like everybody's human, everybody's making mistakes. And I always say, whatever you do, whether it be falling on your face or whether you succeed at what you're doing, is you own it.
But I think at a young age, at least the way I see with my kids, and when I think of my relationship with my mom and my dad, we want to see them smile. So you're in gymnastics and you do your first, I don't know, cartwheel at 3 or 4, and you look over and your parents are smiling and you're like, I like that. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
You're like, I like that. And then you just pursue down that path with your head down and never ask why you're doing it.
I think that is kind of how it rolls, but that's when you start growing up and being able to create like those own thoughts in your head, and you start asking yourself like, well, I was literally at the point of like, what, why am I here? What am I going to do with this?
Mhm.
And then I was to the point where there was a point where I loved it, and I was going into my 3rd year, level 10. And if you know, well, here's my story on that end. So I don't know if you guys know a whole bunch about the routes you can take in gymnastics. There's the more of like the elite route, which is like the professional Olympic route, which is you go compete internationally. The other route that most gymnasts take is collegiate. Just like any college sport, you'll go to your school and you'll compete for your college. Well, if I was like, I'm going to be in the sport as long as I am, I'm going to go the elite route. I want to make the Olympics. I want to go big. And when your coach says you're not meant for that, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So, and then at that point, I was 12 and 13 years old. I was like, I don't want to be a level 10 for the next 5 years of my life and then go compete 4 years in college of the same things. Right. So I was like, there's something more out there.
I just want to tell you, I love your connection right now.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
It fired up.
I thought this was going to be, I started getting like, man, this is going to be a fucked up show.
And your responses are super mature too for your age. You said you were.
Oh, let's not get carried away. Let's not get fucking carried away.
How do you pronounce?
I'm old.
How do you pronounce your last name? How do you pronounce your last name?
Fuselier. The first year at when we started getting some showtime on through CrossFit, it was Fuselier. I was like,
Fuselier. In 2017, you made the black page. Could you pull that video up, Mr. Souza? Do you remember this? You were doing handstands on dumbbells, and what was your reaction to this?
I was so scared about what you just said, the black page. And I was
that's what we call back in the day when you were allowed to use words like that freely, like black. That's what we called the main page, because the logo was black. We called it the black page.
Oh, really? I always called it main site.
Maybe that too. We called it that too. But we had so many
I feel like that video gets reposted like almost every year. It's very interesting.
Do you remember this getting posted in February of 2017? Was this your first real attention from CrossFit?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was pretty still. Actually, no. Second. The first one was just leading up to the games when I qualified in 2016. And then I used to make a ton of these little handstand trick videos. I love to be upside down on my hands. And then they announced that that was the first year with the dumbbells. And I was like, ooh, this is what they're going to do with the dumbbells. I was always making jokes back then too.
When you, for you started CrossFit, at 13?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get back to that in a second. So you start CrossFit at 13, and has puberty started at 13? Does puberty start at 13? Like, yeah? No?
I will tell you this, when I
Yeah.
stopped gymnastics and I stopped training 36 hours a week, my body completely changed.
Yeah, that's what. So here's the thing. Here's where I'm going with that. For everyone who does CrossFit, their body composition changes. But there's this group of athletes that now we're seeing that start, and we watch their bodies go through these fucking crazy dramatic changes, right? And it's this group of boys and girls that we're watching who are doing it from 14 to 25. And somewhere in there, like you just look at Mal O'Brien's body, right? We've watched it just completely change. And I'm just wondering how much, like, I guess you only know you, but I always wonder, what if I would have pushed my body that hard when it was going through a hormonal change, like when it was going through puberty, and I didn't go through puberty till late. But I wonder how that would have affected me. I wonder if your body is like, okay, we're going to double down on all your hormones, all the good shit you get too, because we see how hard you're working. We want to adapt and we want to prepare you for life. Like your body's like, hey, oh shit, Rebecca's going to drive this shit hard for the next 20 years. We need to fucking double down.
No,
I'm with you on that. I think there's.
But how would we know? I mean, how? Because you only know you. But did you have any like weird, explosive like things happen to your body, or where you talk to your peers and your puberty or your changes were different than your peers?
No, and I wouldn't say I was around a whole lot of people my age when I started the transition from gymnastics into CrossFit, because the CrossFit community, most for the majority, it's much. I mean, I was the baby of the gym when I started and everything, but I really believe I'm right there with you of like, there's something to be said about it's building a foundation when you're that young. And I think it's something your body kind of carries as it gets older. Like, obviously, if you completely change your lifestyle and your habits and just start eating like trash and later on,
there are studies that super duper obese kids whose hormones are fucked never go through puberty. Like they're like if you're a 300-pound 9-year-old, there's studies that show that, like, I don't know about women, but if you're a boy, you will have some real serious issues.
Yeah,
so it must go, and your genitalia won't even grow normal. And so I'm guessing it's got to be the opposite way for someone like you who's in the gym 12 hours a day.
So you want to hear something really? This is a conversation I definitely didn't think I'd be having with my fellow 2 male peers on this podcast, and then there's 2 fellas in the room right now.
Tell us
with me.
We need people to complain now, and then in 5 years they'll be like, "Oh my God, that was so good of Rebecca to share that."
So, in gymnastics, your training, I was up to 36 hours in training. That's the highest training hours I've ever had.
A week.
36 hours a week.
Wow.
So we do multiple practices a day, and they'd be stretching from anywhere from 3 to 5 hour sessions. And your body there's something going on with your hormones. It slows down your growth hormones so much that a lot of my teammates, so I didn't even hit have my period in gymnastics because my body didn't develop that fast. And I've heard of stories of gymnasts training that hard to where they have to go to their doctors when they're 14 and 15 and haven't had it yet because their body is so stunted and underdeveloped from training that many hours.
Wow. So look at this. She when I quit gymnastics, I grew 4 inches and did actually start puberty.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Rebecca.
No, but that's like the total opposite end of the spectrum of you were just talking about is like when your body is like underworked or overworked, like it's not functioning the way it should be.
Right.
Overworked. Yeah.
I saw this. We had Jeremy Kinnick on. This is a little off subject, but to help people understand the opposite of Rebecca, and you can still have a great kid. Jeremy said that, as a parent, people ask me all the time, what should I do? How should I get my kids started? What should I do? What's the success? Why did your boys end up the way they did? But Jeremy wrote on his Instagram that if between the age of your kid being born and being 6 years old, if you can keep them outside during their waking hours 80% of the time, you've done it. That's all you have to do as a parent. And I thought that was fucking brilliant, because when my kids are outside, they're flourishing. I don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? Like if I just go to like a coffee shop that's on the beach and I'm just drinking a coffee and they're outside for 2 hours, they're flourishing, they're running, they're jumping, they're swimming, they're climbing trees, they're in the sun. Like you don't they don't need to be in an elite gymnastics program if you just have them outside 80% of the time. Kids just flourish outside. They fuck around. They catch beetles, they run, they jump, they play with other kids, they fight. And all these people want to go ahead.
I love this conversation because I'm such an old soul at heart. And I'm like, Matt my coach always describes me as the get off my lawn person. Like, if you're not doing this right, then get out my way. Don't do that. And I'm such a rule follower. And I'm definitely one where like, yeah, get outside, connect with nature, because that's how we developed as humans. So
what's your birthday?
When is it?
Yeah.
March 9th. It's in March 19th, and I'm a 2000 baby.
You're a Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Pisces.
I'm March. Your birthday.
I'm March 16th.
Oh, we have lots of March birthdays.
I think people. This is gonna really piss some people off. I think the only old souls are Pisces.
I wouldn't know that much about horoscopes.
Me neither. I don't either. I just like to say it. I like to say really controversial stuff. Yeah. So your theory is the opposite. What you're saying anecdotally is the opposite of my theory. You're saying you pushed so hard that the shit got stunted. I was suggesting you push so hard in your body, like, you know, the whole thing Greg Glassman would say, your body, you do the 400-meter sprint and as hard as you can, rest 2 minutes, do it again. And the next day, while you're sleeping that night, your body has a talk with itself and it goes through some pretty hardcore adaptation because it doesn't want to be caught off guard again, right?
There's a sweet spot. Easy. Yeah. There's a sweet spot, because I would say the training that I'm doing right now for the games is pretty crazy, but it's not to the point where my body is broken down and my spirit is broken down to where it doesn't function anymore. What I'm doing right now is crazy, and I'm super sore today and a little beat up in that way, but it's still, my body's like getting stronger because of it. So there's a sweet spot.
Dick, maybe we should start a playlist on YouTube. It's called like Menses.
I actually think that's one of the better things that we add a benefit for, because nobody talks about it ever. So if you're a woman competing, or this gentleman that was asking about like his kid or a daughter or something like that coming in, this is going to be the only spot that you would get all that information. So the fact that people shy away from that or want to close it down or like hide it or think that it's inappropriate is almost just seems like, why? Like it's going to be beneficial to other women. And at least in my opinion as a male. So, what do I know?
The one thing you don't want to fuck with
podcast out there.
Yes. Thank you. The one thing you don't want to fuck with is a kid's hormones. That's why you don't feed them sugar. And that's why you don't have them. Now we know do gymnastics 36 hours a week.
That's intense.
Oh, I'm such a bad promoter for that sport now. I'm just had such a bad experience. I just hate on it now.
You're not alone though. Everybody that I've known that's done it competitively or at a higher level like that has a very similar experience to yours. And that really sucks because like you said, what did that do to authority figures as far as coaching goes? You just avoided them. You were like, dude, I don't want to even want to deal with it. And that's sad because they should be injecting leadership, positivity towards you. So that way you feel empowered and understanding your different moods, not just like that one fucking lady that just decided to tell you you're not good looking enough to compete. That's so selfish because she's only worried about her acclimates in there. She's only worried about her reputation and having champions. She's not thinking about the longevity of the people that are in front of her. And therefore she is a terrible coach and should not be in that position whatsoever. But like you said, it's political. So that's probably why she's there.
Right.
And she's got 100 examples of gold medals. And so she can always lean on that.
Yeah.
The carnage is irrelevant to her. She is.
Right.
One does Matt McCraney, is that your coach?
Mm-hmm.
Does Matt McCraney? How long have you guys been together? How long has he been coaching you?
Since 2013.
Okay, so he's known you forever.
Mm-hmm.
There must have been some delicate times where he's accidentally put you in your shell.
I mean,
right, where you've retracted when he didn't maybe mean to, like he gave you a hard talk or something like that, and you retracted, and there was a learning curve for him.
No, I wouldn't. So the sport of CrossFit is very different from any like professionalized or other like sport that's been around for a long time, right? It didn't start as he's the reason I wanted to become a coach, because he listened. He like listened and saw that I was like not connecting with certain things of just like, that's what we do in here as coaches, is we read our athletes, and some people respond differently to this, some people respond differently to that, and overall we're trying to do what's best for each, for everyone in there. And I don't think there was ever a time that I felt like I was being attacked or put down. So I think he's, like I said, he's the reason I wanted to become a coach, because he taught me that not coaches aren't bad. Coaches are there to help you. You just got to get with the right ones.
He does a lot of he does a lot of TikTok with you.
Guilty. I make him do those.
Can you play that one where they have their hands in front of them? Yeah, this thing you do with your head in here is so good. Can you play a little bit of this?
Photo.
Oh, there's this thing you do with your head where you're like,
uh,
I can't even do it. Can you do that thing with your head where you move it side to side, but it's like, yeah. How do you have that skill?
Maybe I'm more athletic than I thought I was.
Maybe you're definitely more athletic. I can go forward and backward. I can't go. How does your neck move like that? I can't do that. That was a great video. Where did that song come from? Why did everyone start making that?
I have no idea. No idea.
TikTok.
Okay. Yours was one of the better ones. There were some pretty bad ones out there. The good thing is even the bad ones were pretty good.
Yeah. Anything synchronized looks good.
Oh yeah. Wow, good point.
It's true.
And if you screw up the synchronization, you fucked up the whole thing, kind of.
Yeah, it's ruined.
It's like, hey,
it's
start
terrible.
over, do that
It's
again.
either it's gold or it's complete trash. You gotta do it right.
Yeah, he's good. And so he's read you right, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but
does he ever give you a hard talk? Has he ever said, like, at these semifinals, like, I mean, you were in the closest fucking semifinal that there could possibly be. There was never a time when he's like, yo, bitch, you gotta work. He didn't give you give you one of those?
When I dropped that, hey, say hi.
Hi, Matt. What's up, brother? Good job, dude.
Hey, Matt.
Congratulations, dude. You guys are killing it. Yeah, there he is. Is that your dog? That's a water dog? That's yours?
That's Matt's dog.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah, he's a German wire hair pointer, so he loves to swim.
Yeah, he's cool.
But yeah, the only time is when I dropped that freaking bar at the end.
Yeah. In the lunges.
Yeah.
And does he yell at you from there?
Everybody's yelling at me at that point, and I'm yelling at me too. What am I doing? So he's definitely, we just know each other so well that if I did tell this story earlier because we've been doing a little bit more media for like some extra vlogs and everything on my YouTube page. But I think the only time he's gotten mad at me is when I didn't do an open workout right.
Oh.
I totally did not listen, and then I was like, I'm gonna go unbroken, and then that actually happened this year, and he got mad at me.
And what's that look like?
We still argue to this day of who had the right answer. Of I think I went the fastest I could have, and he was like, no. Guess we'll never know.
Does he
repeat it.
Does he have kids? Does he own the gym?
Yeah.
And when you came in, when you come in, you're just a 13-year-old, you're just a little girl, but you're crazy capable.
Yeah, I think there's been, and really, you know what? I tell a lot of people this. I like don't even like halfway joke about this, is I don't think I'm the most naturally, I've always been an athlete. So I've come from a sport where you learn all body control, and I have all that. But I've had to work for everything that I've had. I'm not naturally gifted in so many ways. So I think there have been a lot of athletes that walk through this door and they're naturally gifted like that. But if you don't have it up here, and if you don't want to do, especially something like CrossFit, which is just putting yourself in the pain cave, you have to want to do that. So I think after like a couple years of, not even a couple years, like a year and a half of being in the sport, I was like, I want this. I want to do this. If I'm gonna work, train this hard in here, something's gonna come out of it. And I like to compete. So I think he finally saw that, and obviously we put in a lot of time and effort and everything.
How did you your mom took you to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
She was already CrossFitting.
Mm-hmm. for like 2 years before me.
And do you know how she found it?
Yeah, she has a good story, a good CrossFit story that I'm sure a lot of even moms can relate to. You're just people. Is she said she was raising 4 kids, right? And we're all like 2 years apart. So that was her job forever. And she tells everyone, she's like, one day I was making the bed. I was putting the sheets on the bed and I had trouble lifting the mattress. And
I still have trouble lifting the mattress.
she was still
Careful, Rebecca. It's my show. Careful.
He was gonna take a shot.
I'll fuck you up.
I almost did. I'll leave.
Should have.
Careful.
But
that
anyway,
editor on.
She was she was an athlete before having kids, and she always went to the gym. So she didn't like the feeling of being weak. So she started looking for fitness to do around the city, and she started in boot camps. You know, those park boot camps that you go out to?
Yep.
And she's like, nope, not for me. And then Matt had just opened up his gym. So she's been at Bolt. We've all been at Bolt.
What do you think she didn't like about the boot camp? Isn't it boot camps are cool, aren't they? They're just CrossFit outside.
My mom's kind of hardcore. She drag races and everything, so I think it was too slow for her.
Like drag races, just like on the street, like she'll look over at someone and like really drag races.
She races Challengers.
Wow, a Dodge Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like with the hole in the hood with the engine sticking out.
Well, some of them have that. Yeah, she goes fast though. So I think it was just probably too slow for her. So,
wow. What did your mom do in the military? Or no, she wasn't in the military. She went to LSU. What did she study there?
Respiratory therapy.
Oh, did she get free? What is she? And is she still a respiratory therapist?
I think she's still registered, but she hasn't worked in the hospital.
Oh, what did your mom say about COVID? What was her stance on that?
Just no. We're actually the family was a little bit just split on that.
So she didn't want to play. She didn't want to play the COVID game.
No.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. But noted people, she's a respiratory person, a smart respiratory person. She didn't play the COVID game. Notice. Notice. She believes in personal responsibility and accountability, and she trains with Matt McCraney at CrossFit.
Bolt. Yeah, we're definitely on team. Get yourself healthy.
Get the
right way.
Good.
Personal responsibility.
Get yourself some shoes that match and fucking get yourself healthy.
No, I'm not. I missed that mark, but
no one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
So she goes for 2 years, and why does it take you? And it is Matt her coach. She's coming to Bolt. That's her joint. Why does it take you 2 years? So you're 11 at the time. And do you ever go in with her and just hang out? And
I think I watched her do a competition, but I was still in gymnastics at that point.
Man, your mom's hardcore.
Yeah, I think she did a competition. That's the first place I saw it. And then I walked in the gym like one time after that. But when when I was in gymnastics, I didn't even have you don't have a life outside of gymnastics, so you're not doing anything else. So I ended my gymnastics career and I was homeschooled, sitting down, not doing much after that point because I went from training full time to doing nothing. And she goes, nope, you got to come to the gym now. You're not sitting down and doing nothing anymore.
And was there kicking and screaming? Did you resist?
I knew I tried to work out on my own as like a 13-year-old, and I was like, oh, I'll go to the park, I'll run, I'll do whatever I think about doing, but I work best with structure. And I was like, no, I don't. I was scared. I didn't want to go. I was like, no, I don't want to go. I'll just go. I'll work out later. And she was like, nope, you're coming to do this workout. And it was a hero workout too. So I'm pretty proud that my first workout was was a nasty hero workout.
Do you remember which one it was?
We do. It was a 9/11 hero workout. And I think there's plenty out there, but it was just a big old chipper.
Cool.
And that was it. You did one and you were in.
Yeah. Totally bought in after that.
I was one of Rebecca's judges at the Fitness Experience. Great movement and very easy to judge.
Thank you. I think that's the best compliment you can get as a CrossFitter.
Yeah.
Be a good mover.
2022, the year of judging the judges.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's a shitty judge.
Oh.
No, Jeffrey's got it. He's holding it down.
All right, just checking. He's part of the Josh Bridges crew. So you get in there at 13, and this is going back to where I was headed before. When do you think that, and you're just in there for fitness, and your mom drug you in there? When did you think, oh, I might want to compete as this? I might want to compete in this. And did you come up? Who came up with that idea? You or Mr. McCraney?
I don't know how I got to my first CrossFit competition. I remember it. I was probably asking to someone probably mentioned it to me, and it was just like a little local teenage kiddie competition that a gym was putting on, and I was like, oh yeah, definitely sign me up for that, because I'm so used to competing at that point. And then when I did a few local teenage competitions that they had set up, and then in 2015 is when they announced the teenage division of the game. So that's when I was all in on my competitive side.
I've trained the audience so well. I'm embarrassed at how well they're trained. Sevan, you're bobbing your head forward and back. Looks so natural. Not your first time. Thank you. Jim, if you go to my OnlyFans page, I'll make you a video for $50 in the menu.
Oh, pump that up.
$100? I'm new to the game.
I don't know how all of that works.
So you do your first comp. Do you remember how you did?
I got second to Sydney Sullivan.
Irish girl.
No, she's the first champ of the teenage division.
Oh no, I don't know that. I don't know.
Back in 2015.
I was a big journalist there for CrossFit. I was rich and making tons of money. I poo-pooed the teens. I was too good. The teens and masters. I will not even address them. So your first comp, you took second. So you knew, and so that kind of feels good, right? You're like, oh, the only person here who can beat me is the champ.
I mean, I was like, I might have something going right here.
Yeah,
and did anyone
he definitely has a different Instagram handle now, though.
Yeah, this is old, and there's only 3 photos.
Yeah,
so I think
look at that. The 2015.
Did anyone at that time tell you? Did you ever have any flashbacks from gymnastics where anyone's like, "Hey, man, you're too small. Hey, you're not strong enough." You did get that a little bit. Yeah,
people be telling me that this year.
Right.
This
probably when we get off the show. Probably when we get off the show with you, I'll have Brian on, and me and him will talk about how you're too small.
I mean, I'm small. I'm definitely. I think I'm the smallest one out there. The last time I popped in on the show, we talked about it a little bit, and James Townsend was on, and we talked about if I'm trying to gain weight, and I've always been trying to put on a little bit of weight. My body is big for what it is right now, and I'm trying to break the 130 mark. I weigh 125. I can't get past this.
What's the most you've ever weighed? Yeah,
I think I broke 130 before, but I was a little bit like, I wasn't lean at all, and I think maybe I've touched 130. I haven't.
Yeah, 125 is light.
Yeah, I'm small.
But you're still strong as shit.
That's what I wish I could get 5 pounds on me so we could see where else that would go.
You did your clean's 221? Your power clean?
Yeah. My squat.
Or is that squat clean?
And your bench not far off.
And your bench was 162?
161 or 162. I can't bench.
I think that's pretty damn good, man. It's crazy.
You bench more than Sevan and I.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then what was the third lift?
The overhead squat.
And what did you do there?
211.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Mobility, man.
Yeah.
All about movement.
That's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, so that's a big goal of mine, is to be able to put on a little bit more weight. But I think it's been in the last couple years that I finally just owned the fact that I'm smaller. I'm like, hey, I'll be that teeny tiny girl that goes out and lifts all the big barbells. Eventually, like it is going to stop me. There will be points at the games this year where I'll probably walk up to a bar that I can't lift, because there's always situations like that. But I'm gonna go out there and own the gymnastics side of it, lift, do what I can in all the strength. But we're definitely getting stronger. I've had big improvements just in this past year from last season to this season that I'm really proud of. And I know if I can keep getting stronger on the barbells and any type of weight, my gymnastics just follows it. So it's going to be pretty epic once that. I'm just waiting. Like my body's developing much, much slower. And I know this is the first of many years. My peak is way later.
And your body's you got a good body, right? It's all proportion, right? Like you're all normal. You're just you're normal.
I feel like my arms are long.
Like your levers and shit. Like when you squat and you overhead squat, you can get in all the good positions.
That sounds weird, but yeah.
No, we're CrossFitters. Nothing's weird. So then you finally, the first time you go to the CrossFit Games, you go as a teen, and what year is that? 16?
Yeah, 2016.
And was that the goal to go to the CrossFit Games?
Mm-hmm. I missed it slightly in 2015. I think I missed it by 4 spots. Okay,
so you had wanted to go then. And how old were you in 2015 when you wanted to go? Was that 14?
I was my birthday's during the Open. Yeah, my birthday's during the Open, so I must have just turned 15 in 2015.
Hey, when you're 14 and 15 and you're at the CrossFit Games, I don't remember, did your parents get to walk around with you?
They got to check in, and I think it was just, actually, maybe my mom was with me. I think you could have a parent or guardian with you.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The babies out there. This is interesting. Yeah, they do a good job of protecting the younger athletes out there, because even we're like, I remember now that I think about it, in the teenage division where they are like almost holding hands with your competitors. We're like single filed. They're like, your shirt has to be on to and from locations, just because they're taking all precautions.
Mm-hmm. Meaning you can't be like in the sports bra and that shit. Is that what you mean?
They didn't let you walk. Yeah, they didn't let you walk around without your you needed your shirt on, and you had to be single filed in the line and everything.
I remember being in meetings at CrossFit when they were talking about the teens' clothing. I was like, "Fuck, put them in a fucking sheet, cover them." Sheet with 2
Yeah,
holes.
they gave us like some extra long biker shorts that I wasn't a fan of.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wish they would have fucking given you 2 pairs, 3
because at that point it's their responsibility for the attire.
Yeah,
they're gonna provide the attire. Yeah, it's got to be appropriate.
Hey, in gymnastics, do your parents get to your parents stay close to you?
In gymnastics?
Yeah, like at competitions and stuff. Were those same precautions taken?
No, you're around. You're with your teammates and your coaches.
Okay,
yeah. It's different.
You did a Dave Castro muscle up challenge. Tell me about that. I don't remember that.
My best friend, my training partner, made me hit this Dave Castro challenge that he put out there. It was like one of the age group online qualifier workouts from one year, and it was pure gymnastics. I think it was like 3 rounds of so many toes to bar. Maybe it was like 18 toes to bar and then 9 bar muscle ups, but it was just 3 rounds of that. And he said whoever could do it unbroken without coming off the bar, the 3 rounds, gripless, like without hand protection on, he'd give an air runner.
That's right.
Or an assault runner. Yeah, the good thing is I don't do muscle ups with grips on. I don't like to. So
and you won that?
Had that built up. There was a lot of, I did the thing unbroken all the movement standards, but there was arguments that I rested on top of the bar too long, but I never rested. I was always in full extension. I want to point that out there. I follow standards. Like I hit standards all the time. Don't test me.
And did you win it?
Yeah. And the runners there.
Wow. Those are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's a cool moment. That's a cool memory. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. My teammate made me hit that challenge.
So you're doing. Your mom drags you to the gym. You enter a competition. You take second to the chick who's good. Then you end up at the CrossFit Games. You try to go to the CrossFit Games 1 year through the Open, and you want to go, and you fail. And the next year you make it. And at any point, how far are you starting to look further ahead? And you're like, oh, I'm a CrossFit Games athlete now. Like, did you start to like I was a gymnast, or do you even see yourself as a CrossFit Games athlete now?
I think this year it's still like Like I'm starting to own that a little bit more because the whole moment is surreal. And to be honest, like last time on the show, you asked me like, were you expecting to make it this year? And every year we start, I feel like that percentage of making it for me gets a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And there was a small percentage this year that I'd make it. I knew everything had to go right to be able to make it there. And I did. And I did. I executed all the workouts exactly how I wanted to. And the cards fell the way they did for me to make it. And I'm super excited about that. So yes, I'm owning it. I worked my butt off for this. But I think what the crazy thing about my story is coming out of the teenage division, you're in kind of an awkward time, right? You're supposed to go to college. Typically the traditional route is you're graduating high school, you're going to college, and then a lot of the teenagers fall off because you don't have as much time to invest in CrossFit. So I did a little bit of schooling through community college. The big university was not my scene. I knew that wasn't going to be my scene. But I knew right from the beginning, I was like, this is where I'm going to be. I want to be a coach. That I was already coaching. I want to be a coach. I want to inspire people through fitness because this completely changed my life. And at the same time, I'm going to be a professional athlete in this sport. Wow. So, and when my brain wants something, it goes and gets it. I don't let up on any of that. So I'm fully invested on all of this. I'm a workhorse and I'm proud of it.
I think you told Scott Schweitzer, you said to him, the goal is to take 10th, and then you paused and smiled, but I could have a little surprise for you or something like that. You alluded to the fact that like, hey,
the interview before semifinals.
Yeah.
I wrote on our goal board here. I was like top 10 in semifinals this year. And I go, but I think there might be more.
Yeah. Are you dyslexic? You're not?
Not that I know of. There's probably
people are like, whoa, Sevan. Well,
they've been diagnosed.
In that, I thought in that video that I saw of you when you were 13 years old, I wonder if that's even you.
Oh, I don't know whatever video you brought up at the beginning.
I thought you said that you got bullied because you were dyslexic. Were you in
watch some other video?
It looked like just a young version of you, like really young version of you.
No, not that I know of. I mean, there's probably something messed up here. I'm just don't know.
I think you even saying there it's your first YouTube video ever.
Oh God, then it's probably all. Yeah, I would assume there's something wrong with me at that point. Some of those old vlogs, man, I've gone back on those, and those are weird. There's some weird times.
The ones I saw are good. You're funny. You're good. You're good. You're free. You're. It's cool.
Did you believe that I'm an introvert? I like my alone time.
Yeah. I love my alone time too. More Pisces. I'm not even an astrology guy. More Pisces. Yeah. Alone time is important. You mentioned in one of the videos that you have a boyfriend who's in the Air Force. Do you still have a boyfriend who's in the Air Force?
Okay, we got to connect some puzzle pieces.
Okay.
Man, this podcast is too real.
Too real.
Too real. Okay. He's going to blow people's mind. I already posted it on my Instagram before, but if you haven't done it, you're digging. Matt and I have been together for 5 years. My coach.
Your coach. Holy shit. Uh-oh, that's not good math. That would mean you were 17.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nelly. Did that freak your parents? Did that freak your parents out?
Nah, they knew Matt beforehand.
Wow. So you went from hating coaches to dating coaches.
What kind of freaking story is this?
Hating coaches, dating coaches. What are the challenges of that?
A lot of just trusting each other and not giving a single fuck about what anyone else thinks.
Right. Ben Bergeron has this thing, things grow at the speed of trust. And it's a really powerful line when you start to look at it. Things grow at the speed of trust. Right? And that's the component you said that's like the most important part of your relationship. It sounded like trust.
Yeah. I there's so many, especially in that something, a situation like that, there's so many outside opinions. And trust me, for the first couple years, I mean, I'm so confident in who I am these days that I'm confident if I purposefully put myself in a situation that's not good, I can get myself out of it. So, and I know him and everything that he stands for, and I love every bit of it.
Does he have any other athletes?
We have a group of competitors here. We have a good group of quarterfinalists here. And then some athletes that could, if they put the time in, they get close to semifinals.
Man, that's really intense. That's the thing about it. It's really intense. He's your coach. He's someone you spend a shitload of time around, and yet you're pursuing something. You kind of have put yourself, it's interesting. You could say you kind of put yourself back into that gymnastics situation.
In what ways?
Your parents, there's just a shitload of pressure on you.
Yeah, but I've done everything in this sport for me. Like, I've been in control the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no, like, even, as when you're kind of growing up in sports too, your parents like to be your coaches too.
Right.
That
right.
kind of,
Yeah.
and that's just,
I've been
that's
yelled
just
at by
how it
many
is.
coaches. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and
Yes,
it was kind of like that. Like, I was like, I want full control over this sport. Yeah.
Do you find relationships challenging, or are they easy?
It's easy if you're real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know what you want. I mean, like I said, I was like, if I don't like something, I'm really quick to say it straight to your face that, hey, I don't like this. Peace, I'm out.
Yeah.
But it's when I truly believe this. It's when you're not confident in who you are and you try to start pretending to be someone else, that lies and fibs and everything come up that just taint everything, and then things don't work.
Yeah,
so if you're 100% real, you own everything you do, and then just be honest about everything, then it's there.
Can you get? This is a fucked up kind of question, but can you think of anything what you mean by owning up to what you owning up? Any examples pop in your head? I can't think of any either. If someone asked me that, that's why I said it's a fucked up question. But it's so good for people to hear examples, because so many people think that they're owning shit, but they're not.
Just it can go from anything from, like, literally missing a rep and not blaming it on some outside scenario. Just, oh, I owned it. I missed the rep. I didn't hit the standard. Well, it's something like that. Or also being proud of the fact that, hey, I just made the CrossFit Games. I can own that and be proud of that a little bit more. And if it comes to, like, something like a relationship, if you did something that the other's not gonna approve of, or maybe start a little quarrel over, hey, I did this. Oops, my bad. Let's get past it. Anything like that. I mean, I think that's why the beauty of it being a little bit generalized, if you can implement it in everything that you're doing. I mean, it just, for me, I'm an open book. I feel like I put so much effort into everything I do. I'm exhausted at any other point that I don't want to hang on to any regrets, any secrets, any stuff like that. So if you want to be a part of it, awesome. If not, then
lying's a waste of energy, for sure.
Oh gosh, it's.
By the way, I saw a bunch of videos where you were coaching. You are a great coach.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, you're crazy present. I saw videos. I watched videos on your YouTube of you coaching a lady one-on-one. I also watch you managing a huge class. It's cool. Are you a popular coach? Do people like coming to your class? Are you fun?
I try to keep it as fun as possible, but at the same time, I'm really invested on making these athletes as great as they could possibly be. So I think I try to stay very engaged with everyone and realize it comes back to, like, reading the room of, like, hey, we need to keep this fun, because that's when the athletes are gonna put their heart and soul into all this. But also I love coaching anything from, I do coach anything from fundamentals, beginners athletes, introducing them to all the movements and then making sure they're starting off on a good foot. And then some of my favorite things to coach are high level skills. So I love to do all of it.
What if next year you decide you're ready to go to, let's say, a different coach? Have you ever thought about that? Like, oh shit, but this is my boyfriend.
That won't happen.
Oh shit.
We're referring to this question here.
She scared me. I almost yeah. Well, it's so funny because Franco said at the same time that I was thinking, how am I gonna ask her that? And then I saw he wrote it,
easy question.
Yeah.
If I believe so much in the magic, in the connection, and the emotional investment that Matt and I have in my training career, as well as our relationship, that it's going to explode soon. Like, I totally feel that in my heart.
Then what's going to explode?
Like, just everything's working.
Yeah,
working.
right.
We communicate so well with each other on both the relationship side and the training side that almost like I do everything for me, and that's like always been how I am as an individual competitor. But really, like, you know, my Super Mario power up, something like that.
Yeah.
Is Matt asked me to go do something, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go get that, like, because we're a team.
Right.
And I was like, I've always been that strong individual competitor.
Right.
But I'm so connected with my team, my people. I'm like, if I'm going to the games, we're going to the games. And
that's in your interviews, it's never I. It's always we.
It don't work if it's just one of us.
Yeah, it's always we.
Cool.
Damn, I should have known you were banging the coach when you were saying that. Damn. I noticed all the wees. There were so many wees.
And she exits stage.
I was like, this girl is a fucking team player.
How much time we got left on this?
Yeah, that's how I know the feeling. You're really in trusting the process. You're in the process. You're trusting the process.
And ultimately, everything that we do, I do it for our team. And our team is me, Matt, and the Storm Center, the Bolt Storm Center.
Oh, shit, another clue. Your relationship with the fucking dog. There's so many fucking clues. And just now when you told me that dog was his, I was like, that's fucking... a little red flag went off. I'm like, that's weird. I mean, she, like, that dog, when she does the TikTok shit and that dude gets too close to her, the dog attacks him. Like, I saw that like a few times. I'm like, that fucking dog... How is that dog his? This is all coming together.
I think I spend more time with Blitz because he's always in the gym with me.
Yeah.
Is so when I imagined all of this coming out years ago, I always thought, man, this is going to be a shit show. But this is kind of fun how it's like a puzzle piece now for everyone to figure out.
Yeah,
it's cool.
That was a good thing, a good analogy when you said that. And you're like, okay, let's fit the puzzle pieces together here. And
there's we. And there's the dog. I'm sure I'm gonna see from all the footage I saw. I'll start seeing it. And all the he's such a cooperative TikToker, and you guys are synced together in your movements. There were so many clues.
It's also clear now.
There were
I
so
can
many.
See it all. You know what? I love everything about how our story as our relationship has come about too, because we're not flashy about anything. We're just not flashy people. We're very simple people. And I'm never going to be that person that's going up and like bragging about my relationship and this and everything. But at the same time, I hope people, when they start understanding how strong it is, they see how connected we are with each other, and how it's come about has been really special to me. Like we've done a good job of staying in our own lanes, just because it's something very unique, and a lot of people won't agree with it, but it's something I'm proud of. Yeah,
that's awesome. You seem, it's cool. And when I think of all the things I'm most proud of in my life, I think the thing that I'm most proud of, my greatest accomplishment, is my relationship with my wife. It really is. It's crazy. I've been with her for so fucking long, over 20 years, and it's like, I think relationships are hard, but not in a bad way hard. Like, all the good shit in life is hard. Packing the car to go to the beach is fucking hard.
Yeah.
But when you get there, it's dope.
If you're just like anything, see, this is me relating life to fitness and everything. I totally speak CrossFit and fitness, but if you're not pushing yourself to where you're uncomfortable, there's gonna be hard moments, just like in a workout. But if you're not pushing yourself to there, you're never gonna grow. A relationship is the same way. You got to hit those bumps to start getting better.
Yep.
So
in one of the comments you said, one of the interviews, you said something about, and I don't know if you were just joking, but you said as you get older, you become a little more obsessed and you feel like you're getting a little more crazy. What do you mean by crazy? Like in a good way crazy, or do you remember saying that?
And I don't remember which one I remember saying that. I don't know where it was from. But yes, I am getting more obsessed and more addicted. When you get this little ounce of success like we did this year, I'm like, oh dang, it's just an extra little motivator, and being like, I want that feeling again. I'm obsessed with the process, and it's the training. Even training right now is like harder and harder, but you're thinking about those moments that you're shooting for, and you become obsessed with the work that goes into it because you want to feel those highs.
Yeah, it's like when I had Lauren Khalil on the show, the great Khaleesi. I was like, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna get every single person in the CrossFit reporting world on my show. You probably it's a little bit of a stretch, but for me it was real.
I think we watched most of that one.
The great Khaleesi. What does this mean? Sevan, fuck, you're a menace. I keep looking at this. I kind of like that term. I like that. A menace.
We have a new shirt coming.
Menace. Are you, is any part of you scared about going to the CrossFit Games this year? What's the definition of scared? Can you look up scared for me? Sorry, Susan. Let me see. I'm using words I don't even know the fucking meaning of.
I think there is a part of me. I wouldn't. Use
wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Taylor, you're live on the show with Rebecca Fuselier.
Wow, am I really? I didn't even know you're live right now.
Of course not. You only give a fuck about the shows you're on.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey, dude, she's dating her coach, dude. She's dating her coach.
Wow, just like Tia and Shane. Is that what we can expect?
Wow, I love it. That's a great spin. I love it.
I'll take that one.
I'm in Lidl right now shopping. I was just going to ask you what you thought about Noble sending Hiller a cease and desist order.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Whoa.
Okay, I'll call you back. That made my stomach get in a knot. Okay, I'll call you back about that.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
I'm gonna have to.
News breaks here, baby. News breaks here. Don't you guys ever forget it.
What were we talking about? Oh, the
I
games.
don't know. I don't
Fuck's
know.
nervous now. We're all like
Well, they're so stupid to fuck with him. They're so stupid to fuck with him. It's like cornering a cat. They should just leave him alone. Someone should have just called him nicely. You don't
embraced him.
Yeah, you don't do that. That's funny. Okay, it's fear. Yeah. So, do you have any fear? Is there any going?
I
kind of like you want to run in the opposite direction, like when you have to do public speaking, or no? It's not like that.
No, not like that. I think there's a healthy amount of just like anxiousness to get out there, and the only scary part is knowing. And I think every athlete, besides the athletes that have maybe been there for a very, very long time, is like, you're gonna get to a situation, especially it being my rookie year, especially me knowing that I'm gonna get stronger and I'm one of the smaller athletes out there. I know there's gonna get to a spot where I'm gonna have to figure something out. They're gonna throw something at that I don't know how to do, that I'm gonna have to probably try and fail a few times, and that's the only intimidating spot. But I've definitely, over the years, in the past, when I got scared of something, I definitely backed away from it. I definitely walk into that now, and I think you have to have that mindset, even going into something like semifinals. That's the only way you're gonna survive and get to the top right there, is when you're in that last event. When I was in a foot race with two of the girls besides me, I was like, oh, this is I'm going to war.
Yeah.
You have to have that mindset. And I think over the years, I've definitely developed that a little bit stronger. So I'm excited. Yes, there's a healthy amount of anxiousness in there, but I'm ready to test myself.
So you went from, so you were cautious as a child and now you're less cautious?
Yeah, I was definitely, super timid. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'd rather just sit in the corner over here. Very timid.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what changed.
CrossFit gave me confidence.
That's awesome.
It is a trick. It is, when you see someone like Haley Adams, who is a superstar, who we all are just like blown away, and you just can't even believe her skills and her abilities, and then you see her on the floor at the CrossFit Games, and she's stopped by a bar. Do you remember that? I think it was like some sort of clean ladder and run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see she stopped, and she just has to stand there and watch the rest of the heat compete. As a fan, at least for me, I'm not even judging her that she can't lift the bar. I'm more interested in how she's going to handle it. So I start studying her face and her body language and how she looks at the other competitors. And I start thinking about, and then the next event I'm seeing, like, how is she going to use that to come out stronger? It's a trip. But I guess when you're out there on the floor, you're more thinking, you feel the pressure of just not being able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got all eyes on you, and you can feel it. And
it's the thing everyone's talking about, because you're now the show, what you can't do.
Yeah. And then, but if there's a bar in front of you that you can physically not lift at that moment, that's something you can't control. You can't control that bar floating to your shoulders. But what you can control, like you said, is how you're holding yourself out there, how you're looking around to the other competitors, just how you carry yourself. So I think it being my rookie year going into the games, that's a big goal of mine, is no matter what situation I get in, whether I'm doing awesome or whether I'm getting my butt kicked, I want to carry myself well out there, because I know that this is going to be a big learning year. I'm super excited to test myself. I feel really, really good going into it, but there's going to be that moment. There's possibly 15 events.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a lot of stuff you can't control.
A lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
You could always control your attitude.
Have you ever been in the position that Coach McCraney was in at the semifinals, where you are coaching an athlete who is pushing the outer limits of their capabilities and trying and shooting for a lifetime goal? Have you ever been in his situation?
No, I haven't. I'm in the gym right now. I've never coached competitors, or I've worked with competitors, but everything's basically in the gym. But I'm very serious when it comes to training my athletes. And if my athletes tell me, hey, I want to muscle up, I'm like,
yeah, you are.
I promise I'll get you that.
Yeah.
So you're with me now. So I'm pretty relentless on that end too.
The stress, I can only imagine the stress he feels when you're out on the floor. It must be fucking nuts. He must be shitting diamonds.
He's described it. He said, I think I did more. He's like, I think my heart rate was higher than yours on the floor.
It's possible. He probably wants to throw up. I asked because it is obviously a super duper intense relationship, and obviously he's given it his all. But I just sort of think of it. The only thing I can think of is watching my kids go out into a jiu-jitsu tournament, and you don't realize that it's how weird it's going to be until you let go of their hand and they walk out there, and then all of a sudden you want to vomit. You just can't.
Right.
And I don't even know why. It's like, this can be over in 10 seconds, but something is fucked up.
I think, you know what, we work really well. This is how we work really well together, is I put all the pressure on me. Whatever I do out, it's my job to do well out on the floor. But he does the same thing on his end. He goes, it's my job to tell her the right plan, and we're putting all the pressure on ourselves to make the other proud. So it works both ways. It's not like, you didn't do this or you didn't do this. It's never like that. Yeah. If I mess something up, it's on me.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm so excited for you. What an incredible journey you're on. How fun.
It's so much fun.
And it's so intense. I love intense shit.
I feel like it's a good balance of I'm doing a good job of keeping it fun and living in the moment, but I'll never let myself slide on anything. Every ounce of effort is in training right now. It's everything.
Are all your gymnastics injuries gone?
The only big one I had from gymnastics is, you see how I wear that elbow sleeve?
I didn't notice.
Recently I've been trying to strengthen it up and everything, but my elbows are jacked up, and you can tell they were really hyperextended coming out of gymnastics, and they're like got this bow in them to where
Yeah.
when I have things overhead, it almost looks like I'm not locked out, but it's just bowed a different way. So I got big overuse injuries in gymnastics, so those sleeves are sometimes a little helpful. But that's the only big thing I had from gymnastics that maybe follows me around a little bit.
When you snatch, does it get in your head?
No, not so much. I mean, there's parts where it's like has its bad days where it's a little bit sore, but I try to get that out of my head. You don't have time to think about that on a snatch.
Does it feel unstable? Like, does it feel stable when you have something up overhead? It's just painful, or does it also feel like your elbow's unstable?
It's unstable.
Oh.
We do so much strength and rehab on it.
Mm-hmm.
Kat Shear, isn't it hard not falling in love with some of your guests? You'll be picking Rebecca to win. Yeah, she's the games champ for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, games champ. Yeah, damn, gymnastics
Sorry,
is the devil.
Tia.
Yeah, she really fucking. She really fucked gymnastics.
Yeah.
That's so bad to talk about that.
You would absolutely be a great WWE person, and I don't think size matters for that, because they have little dudes out there too, and big dudes, and I think that there's I think
that's my post CrossFit career.
What about martial arts? Have you ever thought about dabbling in that?
I almost got into just high school wrestling, but I haven't gymnastics limited me so much. I definitely would have been in something like that if I put more time towards it.
Are you comfortable touching people like that? Like, are you a hugger? Like, are you comfortable physically with people?
I'm not a hugger, but I don't mind beating up on some people.
Right. All right. Fine. I mean, it's the martial arts is so intimate. Just the dudes are like rolling around, and it's just crazy intimate.
But what I love about do your kids do jujitsu, right?
Yeah.
It's so necessary in life too, and I've said that in the past. Is like people are like, oh, you're I was like, I'm so small, and they're like, oh, you're strong. I'm like, no, I'm small. I was like, if I need to defend myself in life too, that's such a good. I mean, that's like a double win if you're doing a sport like that. Gain self-defense.
You would be great at it. Body awareness, strength, and endurance. I mean, you would be like amazing at it.
So WWE career post CrossFit. Y'all get
it. Dude, you would be amazing. And I mean, you have personality. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, you got to have a storyline with you.
You took your L1 at 17. Do you have to pee? The show's almost over. Don't worry.
Nah.
Okay.
I have oatmeal sitting here. No, I'm just restless all the time.
Okay,
I have oatmeal sitting waiting for me.
I was projecting about the peeing. You took your L1 at 17.
Yeah, I have to get I'm going for my L2. I postponed it with the games coming up now.
You mean with the show? It was supposed to be today, but the show.
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna love the L2. You're gonna love the L2.
I've only heard good things from it.
It's such a great course. Like, for somebody who's actively coaching, you're just gonna leave that weekend. You're gonna have like so much energy, so many new tools in your toolkit. Like, just being around those people, the other coaches, just even like the logistics of managing it. They have these little tiny, tidbits that they give out to all the coaches. So it's really cool.
I'm super excited. We had a coach recently do her level 2, and she came back all fired up, and I was like, oh,
they have that magic. Like, even if you're feeling a little burnt out or something like that, and especially some of the coaches, I know a lot of you guys listen to this show. If you're feeling a little burnt out, immediately go take your level 2. Your love for CrossFit and coaching and being around that staff there is just going to ignite you. You're going to show back up for that next week at your gym and just be fired up. So I'm pumped for you to take your L2.
That's post games. I got to get it. It's been 5 years.
Why'd you take your L1?
Oh, I was inspired by how the gym rolls here, how Matt coaches, how it changed my perspective of coaches. Like I told you, I didn't want to be a coach. before that. I never saw myself as being a coach, but I was so inspired here. And I think on the other side of it, I have a really, really good eye for body mechanics. And I can see things like that in my own lifts. Like I video a lot of the stuff that I do in my own lifts, in other people's lifts, that I just love tweaking and simplifying for folks. And it's that magical moment of when you have someone get their new skill, or it clicks inside their head. Like, I love it.
So did you see the social body cues from Coach McCraney that he was interested in you, and that's what you saw? It was
Ha ha. I don't know how that came about.
well, yes, you
But
do. That's a different
yeah,
show. Yes, you
we've
do.
always been connected.
And it was 17 too young to take it?
I think that's when you can get it. Because I remember I was counting down like when I could get it. I was so ready to just start coaching, and we needed coaches at the time in the gym. And when you're already living at the gym, of course they're like, okay, time to get to work.
No part of you was like this is bullshit. I don't need to take this L1. I went to the CrossFit Games.
Oh.
I've been doing this for fucking 5 years. I'm a gymnast.
No, absolutely not. It's a whole different world. I always say being the coach that I am makes me a better athlete. Being the athlete that I am makes me a better coach. So they're two different worlds, and when you can learn to blend the two, it's so cool.
Do you remember who your instructors were? Do you remember any of them?
Kevin Ogar was there.
Wow. That's not fair. That's not fair. He stands out. He's in a wheelchair. Can you remember someone who wasn't in a wheelchair?
Sorry,
Kevin, you cheated.
Bad about that.
If I rolled around in a wheelchair, people would remember me too.
I don't remember any of their names. That was a long time ago.
See why this show's so inappropriate? That was not misogynistic. That was just a beating up on my homeboy Kevin Ogar. Should probably get him on the show.
We should get him on the show.
Rebecca, thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was fun.
You're a cool cat.
I talked about things I did not think I'd talk about.
Good,
but I knew that's what this podcast is for.
Yep.
Are you in love?
So much.
Good. I'm so happy for you. It's the pinnacle of life. We ebb and flow. Love is like this ray, and our life kind of just passes back and forth through it. As the longer we can stay in that.
There's no better feeling.
Yeah. I have your phone number. I'm sorry. And
don't post it.
And possibly if throughout the week I may text you and ask you if you'd like to come on. Please feel free to ignore my homeboy Anthony Davis ignored me at semifinals and others. I'm just picking on Anthony. But we will bug you throughout the week. If you ever want to come on, we'd love to have you on. If not, it's not a big deal at all. But we just send links randomly to people. We like people to pop on, say hi to us, and harass them.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll be watching you all week. And thanks for taking the time to come on the show. Thank
you so much.
A ball of fire. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a blast.
Thank you, guys. And yes, I'll be seeing you guys on some future shows.
Awesome.
Perfect.
All right. Say hi to the coach for me, for Souza, and we'll talk soon.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Made fun of Kevin Ogar. Talked about menses. Dated coaches.
Great show.
Yeah, we checked all the boxes.
Did you get a little nervous hearing that thing that Taylor said about with Hiller?
Yeah. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't like it
at all.
Like,
made me feel dirty. Made me want to go punch someone for Hiller. Like I want to stand up for Hiller.
I was like, oh shit, I'm like,
and I can't
his friend now. Like when I heard that, I was like, oh,
I can't stand those guys anyway. I think I can't stand everything they stand for is what rots society. And I just can't stand them. Them and the and their wristband buddies. They're pathetic. And the fact that CrossFit had the Spirit of the Games award and let Noble make the trophy for it. It's just sellout grossness.
Well, it wasn't that part of Rosa's plan, because you remember back when they had the CF aggregate, it was this LLC that was started there's just a bunch of money dumped into it. And then I think speculation here, I think that was kind of like one of those deals where some of that money might have went to Noble to help bridge the gap for them to be able to get that sponsorship. So that's when sales started to climb, they could continue to, meet demand. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, sorry. I was
Did I lose you?
just for a second, because I'm sending I think now I'm starting to pick up on it. Sorry to interrupt, Susan. I think basically he got a cease and desist for probably some T-shirt he made.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. And I'm guessing that was sent to Vindicate.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like, it just shows that they, like, all they had to do was call Travis or call Hiller and be like, hey, don't make that shirt. And they would have stopped. And those are just people over there. Those are people that believe. Those are people that did a whole fucking rainbow fucking inclusivity thing. They I don't want to fucking do it.
Do you think?
I don't want to do it. But they're the oppressor parading around as the savior. And yeah. But they're nothing but sellouts.
Well, do you think that
it's pathetic? I would please do not. If you watch my show, do not spend a dime with those jerk offs. That's not what you want to vote for. That's not where freedom is. That's not where love is. There's other places to spend your money. Check out Rad. That dude, the dude who started Rad, looks cool as shit. Check him out. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Sousa.
I was just waiting. Do you think that they sent it to like slow him down? And we're like, he's bringing a bunch of heat on the games or the major title.
No, I don't. To be honest, I don't think that. To be honest about no, I'm sure that they're just on autopilot. They're just
following
just
up
like all their rainbow shit and the shit where they're trying to be inclusive, and they don't even know what they're doing. They're just following. They're not well thought out. They're not logical. They're not thoughtful. They're not caring. They just probably were just on autopilot, and they saw something that Travis and Hiller made and just responded like robots. You know what I mean? They have a lawyer advising them.
That's probably just going through their process of the due diligence.
They don't understand they don't understand the community shit at all. How do Reebok and Noble differ, Sevan? Reebok knew that they were a corporate juggernaut and a sellout, and Noble is does not like is trying to lie to you. I don't know. I would need to think about that a little bit differently. But maybe there is no different, Patrick. Maybe there is no difference. Travis, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
No plan B, motherfucker.
Right?
Yeah. God, you look good. Look at you.
I don't have my other, the other picture, the original picture that I had. You said I looked like I was like drinking mimosas on a yacht or something like that. So, that was more like this, none of this facial hair, had longer hair. Now I'm completely gray. And I have to wear glasses all the time or I can't see a damn thing.
I want to give an example. We made a shirt that said politically homeless, and the guy who owns that trademark reached out to me and said, hey, just so you know, I have that trademark. And I immediately gave him my phone number so we could talk. I mean, it's just like I don't I'm not interested in fucking with no one.
This is the first time.
Yes.
No, and that's the deal. Like I'd posted on Hiller's video today. I was like, the sucky thing is we were not disparaging Noble's name. We never have with the apparel. It's literally a movement to promote the sport and better movement.
What did you guys make? What did you guys make that?
So I'm trying to be careful on how much I go into. Basically, it was you can't use this because it looks like ours.
Yeah, likeness.
Oh.
Yeah, for likeness, which, does it fall under parody, that type of thing? I don't know. If I had a team of lawyers behind me, I'd fight it. But I'm literally like,
it's almost more fun not to fight it and make a whole video about how he's gonna grab his ankles and let them fuck him in the ass because of their rainbows. We do rainbows and we fuck Hiller in the ass. Okay, I'm so sorry. Like he should make a video saying how sorry he is. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we made a video. I don't think he apologized.
Should I stand on my desk and pull the letter out?
Where is that? Did he post something?
Yeah, he posted it 2 hours ago.
This morning.
Can we look at it?
The title says "Not fucking leaving Noble."
Can I see the
post? What do you want to? Do you want me to bring up his channel?
Anything that would make me smarter. What about his Instagram? Is there something on his Instagram?
Let me check.
Yeah.
Travis, did the letter come to you or go to him?
It came to me.
Oh,
because I own the company.
Yeah.
I literally, I got it. And it was funny because I was out walking around and I get the pop-up message on my phone when I get emails to that account. And I looked at it and went, huh, that looks really official in the subject line. Here we go.
Oops.
Sevan has a team of lawyers he can provide. I do.
Oh, I contemplated messaging you yesterday. I'm like,
I
well,
do.
we're just going to see what happens.
Well, the thing
Hey,
about-
let me ask this real quick. So do you have, if you have inventory, can you give it away free?
The only thing the letter said is that, and it literally states in the letter, you must stop selling by the 26th. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna.
Oh, well,
we're
that's
just gonna
kind of
sell off
cool.
what we got, and
That's actually
that was
kind of
the deal. I
cool.
was like, okay, this is kind of nice that they're like,
Okay.
here you go.
That is.
You got
Yeah.
2 weeks. Get rid of your stuff and remove
All right.
it. So I was
All
like,
right.
all
I
right,
take back some of
we
the
can do
nasty
that.
shit I said. I take
No,
back some of
there
that inhumane
was-
shit. That's actually pretty humane. I
I mean,
apologize, Noble.
I literally got it, and I just started to read it. I'm like, oh fuck, where's the dollar signs? That was my
Mhm.
concern. It was like, you owe us 50 grand. I was like, oh
Right.
shit, this is gonna suck. And it right at the end it says you have until the 26th to stop selling. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Can
I'll
we
play
show
that
the
game.
shirt so people can go buy it and help out?
Yeah, they're live right now on the site.
Okay, let's
So,
go over there. Hey,
we,
that is actually really fucking cool of them. And I wish I would have known that. It shows what a jackass I am for speaking out before I knew the whole story. Oh, that's the shirt?
Yep.
That R is too close to their shit? Is that what they're saying?
The lettering is too close to theirs, and then the divided R is too close to theirs.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
I-
there's
their symbol looks like the Twin Towers, right?
right. It's the U, which makes the horns.
Yeah, whenever I see their stuff, I always think of the Trade Center collapsing.
Jesus.
There's a
I do. I can't help it. That's what, when I saw that trophy, I thought it was like, oh, it's your own.
There's
Like
a-
you can crash a model plane into that and reenact that whole thing.
there's a collapse, all right.
All right, this is fun though. This is kind of fun. This is good.
It is
Hiller,
what it
Hiller
is.
wanted attention. He just got it from a sponsor instead of the
Right.
games. Yeah.
There's gonna be a whole lot of no rep shirts at the games. I hope they're ready.
How do you so will you change the font on that shirt? I mean, that's an awesome shirt. I own 3 of them.
We might. We'll see. There may be another version. Somebody had posted in the chat earlier that said just make one that says bad rep. Like, not bad.
I wonder if you flipped all the letters upside down.
Right?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, then it's not the same.
Yeah. Or
No,
what
we
if you
did,
spelled it, do it all backwards, Perone.
We came up with a new one.
Okay.
The Hiller band shirt is out now. This was in response.
Wow. In response to this, that's what
In
this.
response to that, that's what the new Hiller band shirt is. So the story behind this
Is Marvel
one,
going to come after him too for that Batman shirt?
it's not Batman.
Oh,
Guy
okay.
with pointed ears.
Oh,
Yeah,
talking
what are you
about?
talking about? Not bad.
So now we can't have a guy with pointed ears?
No, it's a Spock shirt. How dare you confuse Spock with?
Bam.
The turnaround time for that is awesome.
Oh,
Like,
hey,
happens, boom.
that Jonathan, that's actually brilliant.
Yeah, I
Like
saw
how
that. I
Josh
thought it was
Bridges
great.
has the beard and mustache. There
Yep.
should be a Hiller shirt
Oh,
that's just
shit.
eyebrows.
Yep.
I'm writing
I so
this
agree.
You
down.
could do the bat as his chin and then do the eyebrows above it.
And if you look into in the eyes, it just says in the pupils, it says no rep. And there's just
Oh,
some
boy.
eyebrows.
Oh boy.
That one's free, Hiller.
Do you know what a
Yeah.
content whore Hiller is too? Is I know the second he saw that letter, he just like three. He's like three.
Yes.
Oh, good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I got videos.
He's like, fire up the camera, baby.
Oh yeah,
We're
we were on the phone quite a bit yesterday, like figuring out, all right, how are we gonna handle this? What do we do? And he's like, I'm making a video. And
hey,
No.
that's his answer for everything. I'm out of milk in my fridge. I'm making a video. I have gonorrhea. I'm making a video.
well, and the funniest
It's like it's like it's Christmas. I'm making a video.
the funniest thing he messages me this morning and he says, I got a video ready. I think I'm getting kind of soft though. I didn't go too hard. And I pulled it and I was like, that's not hard.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
hey, I will tell you this: the Phil Toon thing fucking broke his heart. I talked to him about that.
The field team thing sucks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked to him about that, and that motherfucker did get a little soft. I was on the phone with him. He was processing the call with the doctor. Like I heard he was all heart on that call. I was like, oh man, that rocked him because he doesn't want to he loves him some Phil Toon.
Yeah.
And I don't think he judges people. I know he doesn't judge people for using performance enhancing drugs. He obviously doesn't want there to be cheating in the sport. Yeah, that one rocked him.
Yeah. No, and the biggest thing with Hiller that I think people are seeing it now, and they kind of got it through the live show that we did, is he doesn't just spout nonsense. He knows what he's doing, and he doesn't tell lies. People just hate what he says.
Right.
Because it's honest and there's a delivery to it that people don't like sometimes.
I'm addicted. I'm addicted to
I'm the
it.
same way.
I'm fucking addicted. It sucks how I don't want to be addicted and I'm addicted. Sorry, go ahead, Travis.
I don't know if you remember, and I think I told him, I don't remember if I told him on that live show or not. When he first came out, I messaged you because he was, you two were kind of having your little spat thing, and I messaged you. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He can't even put a full sentence together. He has to chop all of his videos up. I'm like, look at this now.
Hey, my relationship with him was the same way with kind of Rebecca Fuselier. Her, we poked fun of her on the show, and then she leaned into it, and that's basically what Hiller and I did. We just leaned it, like we started poking at each other a little bit and leaning in, and it's not, no one throws a punch, but you do a little, just what happens here. It's like putting your hand on an anthill, and like 2 ants get on you, and then 7, and you're like, and then 100, and you're like, okay, fuck that, I ain't doing that game no more.
You wanna blow this up even more? You should send Hiller a link. He's available.
Oh, he is? Okay,
let's
see. Okay, let's see.
Well, are you dropping it to him or you want me to?
He just texted me.
Oh, yeah. Please. Will you drop it to him? That'll give me a chance. When he comes on, I can go pee too. That's awesome.
And don't just get no rep shirts. See that shirt right there? That one right there? I'm going to have to reprint more of those, by the way.
Awesome. Oh, dude. I'm so excited. I don't want to say what we're doing at the games yet, but I'm so excited about the games.
I am too.
I am pumped. You and I both won't be there. That was so fucked up that I attacked Grub last night. That was so, holy shit.
I don't think that was an attack. That was fun. That was all in fun.
It was fun, but I really, but
it's,
I know it wasn't a real attack. You're right. That's a mischaracterization. But the fact that I didn't know that it was one of the best athletes who are going to be at the games this year, and I started just trying to practice my roast routine on him. Was just like,
he was so cool though.
He was cool.
Nice.
Thank you, Heidi.
How was Rebecca's interview? I got a phone call in the middle of it, so I missed an hour.
She's cool. She's cool as shit. She's strong. Cool. She's alpha. She's alpha as a motherfucker. She is.
It's crazy because you look at her and you're like, how's this tiny girl going to compete?
Yeah, she's going to be a great personality too. She's not afraid. She's not done a lot of interviews. She's not done a lot of public speaking. You can dig through her shit, but man, she's already like a few times she had to give me the Heisman, like put her hand, and then like, okay, let's take 2, and I respect that. Like she kept me at it, and then she kept me at bay when I got too personal, and then slowly let me come back in again. It was cool.
Yeah, I think she's just so used to doing all the stuff on her own, because like if you follow her social media, she's awesome. She's literally the only athlete I give a pass on doing like TikTok stupid fucking sing-alongs because she's so good at them. And
she's vulnerable in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just all about, hey, look at my tits and ass. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm a fucking goofball. It's like hard. I don't think I saw any like stuff like that where she's just like celebrating.
I loved her first day at the gym video. This is one of her most recent ones, and the camera's just shaking all over. It's like, that's pretty damn accurate.
Super creative.
Yep.
Sean M. She's tough as nails.
Mm-hmm.
You guys in the comments are fucking awesome.
How
get me all teared up here.
How is the Vindicate stuff? Are you overwhelmed with all the shirts?
I work about 60 hours a week, so yeah.
Okay.
So I don't.
And you have kids.
I don't know if a lot of people know. I have a full-time job, so I literally get home and do more work.
Mm-hmm.
I have my kids help me whenever they can. So I'm divorced, so they're at their mom's half the week. So it's when they're over, they help me fill orders.
Oh shit, they help you run the
Partially.
business. Yeah, wow.
Oh yeah, they
How
help
old are
fill
they?
orders. I have a 19-year-old who she's with her mom more, and she's older, so she hasn't helped out. And then I have a 16 and a 13.
Awesome.
All girls.
And you're training.
Every morning, do Hiller's training so my day literally goes from 4:20 a.m. till 10:30 at night, and it's nonstop. Yeah, and nonstop.
You're training in your garage, or you go somewhere?
The gym that I go to, it's more of an Olympic lifting gym, but they have fitness space in it. So, and it's a 24-hour access. There's no classes. It's just open gym.
What's it called?
Heartland Strength.
Oh, okay. It's one of those. We have a bunch of those in Santa Cruz too. And there's a fucking just some gnarly dudes in there.
Yeah. We have a ton we have actually one guy who I think he's made the Pan Ams for lifting. He's trying to get to the Olympics. Like insane lifter, just crazy technique.
Sometimes you look over and there's a dude deadlifting and blood's coming out of his nose in that gym.
Don't have any of those. Don't have any of those. Nor have I ever done it.
Oh, Andrew, I'm about to fucking get off here. I got to fucking pee. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, he didn't even respond back in the text at all. So
let me see what's going on here. We can. There's always tomorrow. Who do we have on tomorrow?
His problem is he always has his notifications turned off, so you only get him when he looks at his phone.
Tomorrow, we have a guy named Nathaniel Nolan coming on. If you don't know who that is, you might want to check him out on Instagram. He's been walking on all fours. He hasn't walked like upright, I want to say, in 9 months or something. He only walks on all fours, and he's getting good at it. And he's basically exploring of how it's affecting his forearms, his hands, his posture, his whole lifestyle. And so he's going to be on. That's going to be cool. I haven't seen him on any podcast. Then on Friday, we have Amy West, Dr. Amy West on, a brilliant woman, CrossFitter, been around in the community forever, close with the old regime and the new regime. It'll be cool to talk to her and just shoot the shit with her. Then on Saturday, we have Dalton Rasta on, UFC Bellator fighter, 185. I want to say his girlfriend had games aspirations and now is doing some WWE stuff. Mm-hmm. Ordered no rep shirt to Sweden. You demand. You demand, Jimmy.
Hey, Nick Matthew got back to us from when you called him last night.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he just said, I saw you try to call me at the end of the podcast. I didn't know you could even call on Instagram.
Neither did I. Nick Matthew, you are the first person I've ever tried to call on purpose.
That wasn't the accident where you hit and you go, oh shit.
Yes.
Instagram needs a confirm button for that.
No kidding.
They do.
Yeah, hit it and then confirm call. Yes, not just hit it and it fucking rings. It's so weird.
I think Elise in the comments butt dialed me once through Instagram. It went through. I was like, who the hell is calling me? And I get a message back. I didn't mean to call you. Like,
yeah, whatever. That's usually stricken panic when people realize that's happening.
Yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, yes, things are all good. Not overly worried.
Good. And it sounds like they handled it really well. I was saying that you have till the 26th is pretty fucking cool. That means that they understand they're not trying to fuck you. They're just like, hey,
no,
you got to step.
It's basically like, hey, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I'm in design and advertising full time, so I was surprised it took as long as it did.
Yeah, as I said, that's normal business practices. Wow. That's normal business practice. It's not like
I don't even think of Noble when I see that shirt.
Oh well.
Yeah, I mean,
no comment.
I mean, if it was rainbow and it said support your local transition, I could see it.
Nice floral pattern coming down it.
Yeah, but no, not the black and white. All right, Hiller, you're out. I gotta go.
Oh, Hiller, you're killing me.
We'll do more. There'll be plenty of time.
Cool.
We have the Hiller Fit and Review this week, and we will definitely get into this fun stuff. Guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. Travis, thanks for popping in. Go ahead, Travis. You get the last word, brother.
I was gonna say the first thing I told Hiller when I got that message was I can't wait for the fucking Hiller Fit and Review show. This will be fun.